Working so good to see you today. Happy Wednesday. Happy last day of November. I don't know about you, but I feel like October 1st was yesterday and then I blinked and here we are at the end of November. If you feel that same way, let me know in the comments. And if you're like, Laura, that is only happening to you, let me know that as well. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to Networking Know-How. This is our weekly live training where we help give you a little bit of an insight to how we network in a stress-free environment here in Down and Dirty Networking. And we give you the ability to start networking stress-free yourself. So we share different tips. We give you things that are simple and practical that you can put to use immediately to take the stress out of networking so you can have more meaningful conversations and connections and, dare I say, enjoy networking. If we have not yet met, I'm Laura Orlando, the Stress Commando, and I am the founder and CEO of Down and Dirty Networking. And today I'm coming to you live from my mom's house, and I wanted to share just a quick little tip for you. So the first tip is this. How many of you think that networking is stressful? How many of you just dread it? Or show of hands or get up in comments if you are the type of person that prefers to avoid networking altogether. Maybe you're the kind of person like me that's an introvert and you're like, oh my gosh, I would much prefer stay home and not have to deal with making small talk with people. If you dread networking, have a fear of networking, or maybe you're an introvert like me and you just kind of feel socially awkward, you don't know what to say, then today's tip is for you, my friend. I'm going to talk to you about how you can utilize holiday gatherings, since we're now in the holiday season after Thanksgiving here in the United States. But with all of the year-end activities and holiday activities, did you know you can actually use those to overcome your fears of networking? And it's leveraging the two together, something you know you have to do anyway. How do you flip it on its head to overcome your fears and make it easy and stress-free? Care to have any guesses? Don't worry, we're going to give it to you. So here's the thing. Number one tip that I can tell you so that you can get through the holiday season stress-free, so you can get over all of your fears. Number one, I want you to engage in relational networking. Okay, relational networking. Now here's the thing. There's two types of networking. Traditional networking or transactional networking is about, hi, my name is, exchange contact information, and oh, by the way, buy my stuff. Or maybe you think networking is more about sales pitches. It's all about selling and telling. And I say that because that was my understanding of networking. That's what I thought. In the corporate space, when I was doing more of those holiday get-togethers or company functions, I felt it was like schmoozing to be seen. It was about being able to ask for that project or that promotion or that next job offer. But you're still selling yourself, right? Even though you're doing it internally within a company. And though I felt it was necessary to do that, it was nothing I enjoyed doing. It was like, oh my gosh, I don't enjoy it. Maybe that's you. Maybe you don't enjoy it either. This is the thing. If you focus and change your mindset from it being transactional, about being, you got to have the perfect thing to say, you have to have your elevator pitch down, your 30-second commercial. If you just throw that out of your head, that's right, I'm giving you permission to just throw it out of your head. You don't need to do that. And you flip and you transition and you think about, I'm going to be more relational. When you engage in relational networking, which is what we have called and created here at Down and Dirty Networking, it's about having meaningful conversations to learn from and about someone, to have meaningful conversations. So it's meaningful conversations to learn from and about someone, to build lasting and authentic relationships. Hey, I see people watching live. So glad you're here. Get up and chat. Let me know what you think about all of that. So if you feel like, yeah, I would prefer things more meaningful, I would prefer things to be easier, and I would love it to not have to have this fear and awkwardness about networking, I'm going to tell you, you are going to want to engage in relational networking. That's your safety net. That is what's going to be your easy button for the holiday season. The trick, and here's the tip, once you're in relational networking, so number one tip, engage in relational networking. Number two tip, one of the best foundations of relational networking is one of our core values here at Down and Dirty Networking, which is talk less, question more. Don't worry about having something pre-planned. Don't worry about having something ready to say that you need to have. I heard a quote once, be interested before you try to be interesting. We try to be interesting by talking, 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 talking. I know I do. I get nervous when I start talking. If you're that person like me that gets nervous and starts talking, or maybe you were me before you knew there was a different way of networking and you thought, oh, I need to just have the perfect pitch ready to go, the perfect elevator pitch, the perfect thing to say. If those are the mindset beliefs you have towards networking, I'm going to give you permission today. It's not needed. Throw it out of your head. You absolutely don't need it. And so get curious about the people you're talking to. One of the things I used to do, and I still do, is what 3 things can I learn about the person I'm talking in front of, and that I'm talking to that's in front of me, whether it be virtual or whether you're in person. If you're virtual, you're listening to something that you can learn from them. Maybe it's something they're saying. Maybe it's a question they're asking. So you get to ask questions to be curious to find out what's new and interesting. Now, for you to be curious and to have a more meaningful conversation, it means you have to have really good questions. Abandon the traditional networking questions. How are you? What's new? I mean, just they're very superficial questions. The better question is, oh my gosh, what's the best thing that's happened to you today? Or a version of that for holiday gatherings is, what's been the thing that you've been most proud of this past year? What's been the thing that's been most rewarding to you? Those are great questions to ask and be able to get to know people better. Now, what if you're in an environment, oh my gosh, I know everybody there. Maybe it's a family gathering, or maybe it's a bunch of friends getting together. Practice relational networking with those you know. By asking more meaningful questions, you're going to learn something about people you think you know everything about. And what you're going to find out is they may tell you an answer you do know, but they're going to give a deeper version of it and a little bit more context to it. So I told you I'm sitting here at my mom's house, and we've been having a lot of really great conversations lately. And there's stories and things that I've heard over the years, but I'm hearing them a different way because I'm getting more context and I'm getting curious and being interested to know more by asking deeper questions. And so we're having a deeper level conversation on topics we've had over and over and over again, about stories we've had over and over and over again. And I find this to be true with family and friends and people we think we really know, maybe coworkers we see on an everyday basis. Go deeper. Go deeper. Be curious. Be interested in learning more about them. There's always more to know, even with somebody you've known, like me. I've known my mom my whole life. There's always something more to learn. So I would encourage you, engage in relational networking, be curious, engage by talking less and question more, go with deeper questions, ask what's more rewarding, ask what their thoughts were, ask what their motivation is, abandon the need to say anything. Just be curious. And then the third thing that I would tell you to do is, if you're in a room, and so let me go back to the friend, and then I'm going to talk about the other room. So let me back up a little bit. So when you're like with family and people that you know, go deeper. But by practicing this with people you know, remember, practice, not perfect. You're not perfectly doing it. You're just practicing it. It becomes more comfortable when you're in a room of people you don't know, in a room that you're like feeling a little bit more awkward. So as you're going out and about with your friends and family, practice this. And then when you're with people that you don't know, you still are practicing, but you're feeling a little bit more comfortable. So standing in line, maybe you're checking out some holiday gifts and you're standing in line. Practice relational networking with those in line with you. I promise you, get curious, lean in, try and have a more meaningful conversation. You'll be blown away some of the things that you've heard. I have told you some of the stories of my clients when I was doing these networking corporate trainings years ago that had an amazing conversation with a checkout person. He was fulfilling homework that I was giving them. He asked the question, what's the best thing that's happened to you today? Late night, buying some food, has had a horrible day, asked the question. And she proceeds to tell the story about the audition that she had earlier that day, and she was waiting for a callback. He got curious, asked follow-up questions, so much so that everybody in line got curious and jumped in to be a part of the conversation. She ended up singing them a sample of what she did. She had sang for her audition, and so she sang for them what she auditioned with. It was fantastic. His vibrational energy was through the roof. It was easy. It wasn't stressful. And he made it a point to come back every night to talk to her in her line and find out how she was doing. He actually looked forward to going to the grocery store. Something he disliked doing himself was grocery shopping. So I encourage you, engage with this. Be curious, even with people you don't know, even in a social setting like groceries, where you're going to get things that you need. Practice this so it becomes second nature. So then when you're in a corporate room, so on to the third tip, you're going to treat everybody like they're your best friend. And you're going to ask these questions. And if you really want to conserve energy, I'm going to give you another tip next week that will help you know how do you navigate and work through these endless events and holiday gatherings. How do you conserve energy and get out unscathed, but actually get out feeling energized? How do you do that? Because most times, I don't know about you, but I'm drained. And I hear that often from so many people that I talk to. How do you do that without feeling drained? Well, see, we're really lucky. We're spoiled here in Down and Dirty Networking because we do that every single monthly event. It's second nature for us. But I'm going to give you guys the starters next week. So if you want to know more, tune into next week's video and you'll be able to hear what that is all about. All right. So I hope this is helpful. Get up and chat and let me know one of these tips if this was helpful for you, if this sounds really simple, if you're like, Laura, I don't believe this is going to work. Try it. I encourage you to try it and tell me how it works. And if you're going to try it, if you're going to do it, because Yoda says it best, do or do not, there is no try. If you're going to do it, I'm going to encourage you to do it 3 times. One time is going to be really awkward. One time is going to be amazing and great. The third time will be more of the average. And so you get more of a sense after 3 times, yeah, this is totally awesome. This totally works. I promise you, I have done this for years. All of our members of Down and Dirty Networking do and utilize these same tips to network with ease. And right now during the holidays, this is absolutely necessary. It gives you the perfect opportunity to practice, go deeper with the relationship that you already have more meaningful conversations, and take the fear and stress out of having conversations with strangers. It just makes it so much easier. It is truly your easy button, your professional easy button, and your personal easy button, to be honest, when you're going through your holiday gatherings by engaging in relational networking, being interested in talking less and questioning more, and then making sure that you're leveraging all of this as you go out and about your day. All right, I hope this is helpful. If so, give me a thumbs up or maybe post a comment or share with a friend or tag a friend if you think they could really use this tip today. Our goal is to help you start having relational networking conversations and actually enjoying them. All right, I hope you have a wonderful week. And I can't even believe, but next Wednesday when I go live every Wednesday between 3:30 and 5:30 Central Standard Time. It'll be December. Holy smokes, it'll be December. If you've missed any of our past episodes, look at any of the Down and Dirty Networking Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn pages for past episodes and tips. And feel free to comment. I do respond to all comments. And check out our Facebook and our LinkedIn pages for Down and Dirty Networking, all of our articles and tips to help you navigate and network in a more meaningful way. Our latest newsletter of Networking Boost just dropped this morning, so check it out. It's got some really cool tips and engagement so you can be a part of our social media community, even though you're not yet a part of our Down and Dirty Networking community. Are open to everybody, and we'd love to hear from you. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'm going to go hang out with my mom a little bit more, and I hope you guys have an amazing week. Until next week, happy networking.